Hello student, today we start our second chapter from the instrumental methods is the spectroscopic technique. In that we see first X-ray diffraction. Uh, First we see the X-ray spectroscopy and their different methods. The variety of X-ray techniques and methods are are used, but we shall classify all methods into three main categories, that is X-ray absorption, then X-ray fluorescence, and the X-ray diffraction methods. Today we discussed these three methods one by one. When we passes the X-ray radiation from the sample, we get the three types of radiation, that is diffracted radiation, transmitted radiation, and the fluorescence radiation. We discuss these three type of radiation. First we see the wavelength of X-ray. The wavelength of X-ray is the 0.1 to 100 angstrom, and for the analytical purpose the best wavelength of X-ray is the 0.7 to 2.0 angstrom, or when we see in the nanometer then it is 0.07 to 0.2 nanometer, and this is the most useful reason for the study of that X-ray radiation. When here figure is given for the observing these three type of radiation: diffracted radiation, transmitted radiation, and the fluorescence radiation. When we pass the incident radiation from the sample, then we get the diffracted radiation, fluorescence radiation, and the transmitted radiation. How we get this type of radiation? We see first transmitted radiation. When incident X-rays or incident radiations when passed from the sample, then we get some transmitted radiation. With the help of this transmitted radiation, we calculate the absorbed radiation. How we calculate the absorbed radiation? That is incident X-ray minus transmitted radiation, we get the absorbed radiation by that sample. Then we see the diffracted radiation. Second type of radiation is the diffracted radiation. This diffracted radiation, when these incident X-ray radiation are passed from the sample, some radiations get diffracted according to that which atom or which compound present in the sample. त्या सॅम्पलमध्ये कोणत्या टाईपचा कंपाऊंड किंवा ॲटम्स प्रेझेंट आहे त्यानुसार आपल्याला हे डिफ्रॅक्टेड रेडिएशन इथे मिळतात. अँड द थर्ड टाईप ऑफ रेडिएशन इज द फ्लोरोसन्स रेडिएशन. फ्लोरोसन्स रेडिएशन कशी मिळतात तर व्हेन इन्सिडंट एक्स-रे व्हेन वी पास फ्रॉम दी सॅम्पल, आपण जेव्हा इन्सिडंट एक्स-रे हे त्या सॅम्पलमधून किंवा त्या कंपाऊंडमधून पास करतो तेव्हा त्याच्यातले काही ॲटम काय करणार, ते इन्सिडंट रेडिएशन ॲब्सॉर्ब करणार. सम ॲटम्स आर ॲब्सॉर्ब्ड दिस इन्सिडंट एक्स-रे रेडिएशन अँड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स फ्रॉम दॅट ॲटम्स गेट एक्साइटेड टू द हायर लेवल. त्याच्यातले काही इलेक्ट्रॉन काय होणार तर हायेस्ट एनर्जी लेवलला एक्साइट होणार. देन these इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अगेन ड्रॉप डाऊन टू द लोअर एनर्जी लेवल, आणि जेव्हा ते ड्रॉप्स होतात किंवा खाली येतात देन ग्राउंड लेवलला येतात, दे एमिट सम एनर्जी, and this energy is having the longer wavelength than the incident X-ray radiation, and this radiation is called as the fluorescence radiations. कळालं तुम्हाला? diffracted radiation, transmitted radiation, and the fluorescence radiation. Now we see in details. First one is the X-ray absorption method. In this method, a beam of X-ray is allowed to pass through a sample, and the fraction of X-ray photons absorbed is considered to measure of the concentration of the absorbing substance, and it gives information about the absorbing material. This X-ray absorption method only helpful in the certain cases like elemental analysis and the thickness measurement. Then the second one is the X-ray diffraction method. This is the most advantageous method than the other method. This method based on the scattering of the X-ray by crystal, and by this method we can identify crystal structure of the various solid compound, and this method is very important other than than other X-ray method, that is fluorescence method and the X-ray absorption method. Then third type of radiation is the X-ray fluorescence, आणि त्या मेथडला काय म्हणतो आपण, X-ray fluorescence method. In this method X-ray are generated within sample, and by measuring the wavelength and intensity of the generated X-ray we can perform the qualitative and the quantitative analysis, and this is the non-destructive and requires very little sample preparation before the analysis. These are the three different methods of the X-ray spectroscopy, that is X-ray absorption, X-ray diffraction and the X-ray fluorescence. Between these three methods only X-ray diffraction method is more advantageous. Then now we discuss the X-ray production. About the X-ray production, the X-rays are generated when high velocity electrons impinge on a metal target, and this process is explained by using the Bohr's theory of the atomic structure. This is the figure of electronic structure of the atom. There are shells, K shell, L shell, M shell and the N shell. This is the nucleus of the atom. K shell having the 2 electrons, then L shell having the s orbital and p orbital and the 8 electron, then M shell having the s p d, then N. This is the K L M N shells. The inner shell is the K. Then the outer of the K shell is the L shell, then M shell and then N shell. N shell having the higher energy than M shell, then M shell having the higher energy than L shell, and L shell having the higher energy than the K shell. When fast moving electrons impinges on an atom, it may knock out an electron completely. For example, K shell मधलं घेतलं आपण. Then when this fast moving electron impinges on an atom, it may knock out an electron completely. म्हणजे एक K शेल मधला जर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन काय होणार, नॉकआउट म्हणजे बाहेर येणार, ऑर्बिटलच्या तो कुठे येणार आहे, बाहेर, KLM. आणि इथे काय होणार आहे, व्हॅकंट पोझिशन किंवा व्हॅकेशन इथे तयार होणार. व्हॅकंट पोझिशन इथे K शेलमध्ये तयार होईल. ती व्हॅकंट पोझिशन भरून काढण्यासाठी तो इलेक्ट्रॉन कुठून घेणार, तर L शेलमधून. L शेल्स ड्रॉप डाऊन देअर इलेक्ट्रॉन इनटू दिस व्हॅकंट पोझिशन, आणि जेव्हा ते इलेक्ट्रॉन ड्रॉप करतो तो इनर शेलमध्ये, आउटर शेलमधला इलेक्ट्रॉन इनर शेलमध्ये, इट एमिट्स सम एनर्जी. तो काय करणार, सम एनर्जी एमिट करणार, अँड दिस इज द एनर्जी ऑफ एक्सरे. तीच कसली एनर्जी असते, तर एनर्जी ऑफ एक्सरे. व्हेन फास्ट मुव्हिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन impinges on an atom, it may knock out an electron completely from one of the inner shell of that atom, and following the loss of inner shell of electron on the outer electron will fall into this vacated orbital with simultaneous emission of X-ray photon. म्हणजे काय होणार, K मध्ये व्हॅकंट पोझिशन तयार होणार, K ऑर्बिटल मध्ये व्हॅकंट पोझिशन तिथे तयार होणार बिकॉज ऑफ दी नॉकआउट ऑफ वन इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्रॉम दिस ऑर्बिटल. आणि मग आउटर शेल कोणती इथली, तर L. मग L शेलमधून काय होणार, तिथे दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन ड्रॉप डाऊन, किंवा मग तिथे तो इलेक्ट्रॉन फॉल होणार दिस व्हॅकेटेड ऑर्बिटल बाय emitting some X-ray photon, and the energy of X-ray is equal to difference in energy between the two levels involved. म्हणजे K आणि L शेल इथं इन्व्हॉल्व झालेली आहे. K शेलमधला इलेक्ट्रॉन नॉकआउट होणार, L शेलमधला इलेक्ट्रॉन K शेलमध्ये रिप्लेस होणार, आणि तिथे एक्सरे रेडिएशन तो एमिट करणार. these two shells are involved in that process. मग ह्या दोन शेलवरून काय होणार, आपला एक्सरे एनर्जी आपल्याला कॅल्क्युलेट करता येणार. कशी, देअर डिफरन्स, बाय कॅल्क्युलेटिंग देअर डिफरन्स. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, K shell loses one electron and it is replaced by the electron from the L shell, and the energy of X-ray is, energy of X-ray is equal to energy of L shell minus the energy of K shell. Similar for the another शेल. म्हणजे जर L शेल मधला जर इलेक्ट्रॉन नॉकआउट झाला तर काय होणार, एनर्जी ऑफ L शेल मायनस एनर्जी ऑफ M शेल. Lच्या आउटर शेल कोणती आहे, तर M, आणि Mचं जर असेल तर एनर्जी ऑफ M शेल मायनस एनर्जी ऑफ N शेल. दिस इज द सिमिलर फॉर अनदर शेल. Then now we see the energy level diagram for the hypothetical atom. Here these electronic shells, K shell, L shell, M shell आणि N shell. Then K alpha 1, when EL and EK are the energy of K lines have been further divided into the K alpha and the K beta depending on whether the electron falling into the K shells come from the closest cell or the next nearest cell. See here, this is the ground level is the K shell, then these are the L shell and these are the M shell and these are the N shell. K shell having the s orbital, L shell having the s and p orbital, then this M and s p d, then N, this K. In K, from the L orbital, when the electrons dropped down by the L shell, then these are the K alpha. When these are the electrons dropped down by the M shell, then these are the K beta. Here K beta from the L, then K alpha 1, K alpha 2. From the M shell, then K beta 1, K beta 2, K beta 3. Here see also, in L shell, when electrons drop down by the M shell, here L alpha, when in L shell, the electrons drop down by the M shell, then these are the L alpha 1, L alpha 2, L alpha 3. When these are from the N shell, then these are the L beta 1, L beta 2, L beta 3. And these electron, if electron is dislodged from K shell, it may be replaced by an electron from L or M shell, and the electron descended from the shell would emit X-ray with frequency. Here we calculate the X-ray frequency. Here L shell and K shell are involved. Therefore we take the energy of L shell and energy of K shell. When we calculate the frequency of X-ray, nu is equal to EL minus EK, that is energy of L shell minus energy of K shell divided by the H. H means the Planck constant. Same for another cell. When in that process M shell and L shell are involved, then nu is equal to energy of M shell minus energy of L shell divided by the H, that is Planck constant. And finally we get the X-ray pattern. See here, these are the graph, relative intensity versus the increasing wavelength or the decreasing energy. We get this K beta 1, K beta 2, K alpha 1 peak for that energy levels. This is the lambda minimum, that is short wavelength limit. This is the limit for the short wavelength. This lambda minimum is calculated by using the formula Sc upon the Ve. H is the Planck constant, then C is the speed of light in vacuum, E is the charge on electron, and V is the voltage applied to the X-ray tube. When we put the value of Planck constant, then speed of light and the charge on electron, then we get the value is equal to 12,400 upon the V. V means voltage. This value in angstrom. When we take in nanometer, then we get the 1240 divided by the V, and when we calculate the lambda max, then we get the lambda max is equal to 1.5 into the lambda minimum. This is all about the X-ray production. In next lecture we see the instrumentation for the X-ray diffraction method, because we have the X-ray diffraction method in our syllabus. Therefore we discussed only X-ray diffraction method in detail. Today we stop here. Thank you.